Hi there, my name is PolishLynx, welcome to SC2VN. Well, in the previous episode we slightly got the info that we are liked by Jet, so that is cool. And let's continue, because just before the elevator doors close, Mr. Kim turns the corner of his office and watches us go. Okay. But that doesn't matter. My legs are sore by the time we make it back to Namdan. Weeks of handling up in my apartment obviously hasn't been great for my personal fitness. I catch sight of Stan by his white hair. He's the first to notice Jet and me and calls at us with a wave. Yeah, is the team dead? Not yet, and not for a while if our plan works out. Axel sits up from his reclined position, while Reva has already moved at all since she came into view. Plan? Mach is going to win a show match. Reva takes hold of her glasses, gears visibly turning in her head as she works out the point of a show match. Axel and Stan simply look to me for the answer. Mr. Cream agreed to sponsor us if we can redeem that team's image. I have to win a series against Bolt. Bolt? It truly brought us on shock. He's a Broad War player, though. He plays Star 2 on his own time, with money and a chance to embarrass a foreigner on the line. He has to accept. And you're okay with this Mach? Axel glanced in my direction, genuine concern etched in his expression. He seems to be picking up on the doubt I'm feeling. Yeah, of course, I'm going to practice as hard as I can for the next week. As will Bolt. I don't have anything to say to that. She's right, after all. The five of us take a moment to reflect on the severity of the situation. Gradually, I find the eyes of my teammates drifting towards me. I clean the sweat from my palms and steady myself with breath. I'm sure I can handle this, but not all on my own. Obviously, listen, if he's a Protoss, I'm down to grind out endless games, you and me, man. Bolt's play has more depth than proxies and one buys all-ins. Do you have a better idea? What the hell about would he get out of practicing veteran or Zerg? Stan pulls out his phone and dons a stubborn expression. Jet rolls her eyes and glances past him. Everyone has a role to play in making sure that this team lives on past the botched so much. Stand me. She winces and glances begrudgingly in the young Protoss direction. Be the only one of us that plays Protoss enough to spar with Mach, but this is still a group effort. Axel, you get to test out your coaching chops. He raises his thumb up without bothering to stand. You know it. Reva, work with Mach on openings and strategies, and I will see what I can do to get my hands on a few of Bolt's replays. Affirmative. We don't have any time to waste. Bolt's going to be preparing for this match with a KPGA regimen. Think you can handle 14 hours a day, Mach? I don't need to practice long, I just need to practice smart. You need to do both. Yeah, she's right, it's only for a week anyway. The idea of 14 hours of high-level StarCraft is enough to make my wrist sore. Still, I have to live up to my team's expectations. Alright, do we start tonight? Obviously. Jet stare is enough to get him to spit it out. I kinda, maybe, sorta promised my mom that I'd make up all the chores I've been skipping out on at our PC bank. Look, I thought the team was definitely over, okay? We're StarCraft players. Don't pretend you guys don't know the importance of time efficiency. I need to start smoothing things over with her if I'm going to move out. Come on, don't look at me like that. Useless. Whatever, we'll meet up at Zolden's on fire tomorrow, and every day after that up until the show match. Mach, just ladder tonight. Right. Reva, you free? Yeah, why do you ask? Go with Mach and watch him ladder for the rest of the day. See if you can pick up on any holes in his play. The command seems to catch Reva off guard. She looks at the ground and me, and then back at the ground. Very well. I've got to confirm the scheduled report among other things. With me, Axel. Should have guessed. Right then. Stunt, go. Handle your bullshit. Golden's on fire tomorrow morning. Go, everyone, go! Axel peels himself off of the bench and falls in line beside Jet. Stunt is quick to follow, for he turns out of the park in different direction. I share a glance with Reva and scratch behind my head. I was actually planning on going back to my apartment if I'm just going to ladder. Should I return home? No. Why don't you meet me there in an hour? You won't need to stay too long, I don't think. It's hard not to seem awkward about the proposal. Even the normally inexpressive Reva has trouble answering casually. Very well, I will run an errand in the meantime. After sharing the location of my apartment with a map from my phone, I bid her farewell. Reva fades along with grin of Nom-Dom when I trace back the path I took his morning. My glazed-over eyes remain locked with the pavement as I assemble my way home. I know that I should feel relieved that our team still has a chance of coming together, but I can't help but worry. I'm not carrying around a wave of my failed attempts to qualify for the VSL more. This is different. It's anxiety. A tightness in my chest that threatens to strangle me if I let everyone down. I don't know what I expected. It's not like it's going to get easier from here anyway. Every week in Team League, there will be a chance to cause my team a loss. More than anything else, I am frustrated by Mr. Kim's doubt. It's one thing for my friends and parents to misunderstand me, but Mr. Kim made an informed judgment that I am not worth the trouble. I jam my fists into my pockets and exhale deeply. If I ever doubted that eSports was brutal, I don't any longer. Short as the walk is, I don't find my nerves calming as I settle into my pace. A pack of energy drinks might help dose my angst, so I decide to cut a detour that will take me past Go Mart. I should probably pick up something for Reva too. It'd be a pretty classless move to make her watch me grind out ladder games without offering anything in return. My older brother used to always make me watch him play games back when we were kids. This is different though. She's not watching me for fun. She's watching to tell me how badly I suck. I brush past another customer on my way into Go-Mart and glance towards the register. Mr. Young smiles in my direction, but then immediately walks into the store's back room. I don't waste time browsing and head straight for the refrigerators. By the time I'm done shopping, Mr. Young comes out from the back room with a brown box in hand and makes his way back to the register. I set my bottles and cans down on the counter and offer the old man a nod. Hello, this is all for today. In a rush, are we? Not really. Why? With word that I won't run off, Mr. Young smiles wide and hoists the box up onto the counter, pushing aside my drinks in the process. I blink, dumbfounded, but before I can ask what he's doing, he clicks open a latch and reveals a wooden board on the underside of the box's lid. He lifts it up and sets the box between us in the place where a customer might expect to have their groceries rung up. A cloth sack rests beside the game board, the contents of which clack against one another and the counter. He pulls an object out of the bag and shows it to me. Have you ever played Go? Go. It's a board game that's played mostly in Asia, held in esteems similar chess. Without meaning to, I ask the first question on my mind. Is this because I told you about my pro gaming car? Let's just say I wouldn't be showing it to you if you didn't. We'll go over the rules and play around, just one, and my whim will be satisfied. Alright. This is strange, but if I want to keep shopping at Go-Mart, turning down Mr. Yon will make our future interaction uncomfortable. Better for one extremely awkward game of Go than an infinite amount of semi-awkward trips to the convenience store. Mr. Yon pours the contents of the bag into a pair of wooden cups set beside the board. On closer inspection, they appear worn and scratched up. The board itself isn't in great condition either. The corners are chipped and its lacquer is long faded. Even though I've never played, I'm familiar with the premise of Go, Mr. Yon explains the basic rules for roughly either way. The main objective is to control and capture space by surrounding your opponent's pieces. It's not unlike StarCraft in that sense, only there's no advantage in quick fingers. Even if I'm aware of the basics, I don't have the faintest clue about the game's strategy. What is this supposed to accomplish? Once Mr. Yeon is finished explaining the rules, he motions towards my stones. Black takes the first move. You may begin whenever you're ready. Okay, for the record, I have no idea what I'm doing here. That's alright, just play on instinct. It's hard to hide the confusion I'm feeling, but I agreed and shuffle a handful of black stones in my direction anyway. If the point of go is to control space, it seems like a good idea to form some sort of basic structure that I can play off of later. But not 5 turns into game, Mr. Yon begins placing his pieces dangerously close to mine. When I look up from the board, he answers me only with a smile. Soon he begins capturing my stones, with relentless efficiency, never allowing me to challenge his position when I'm so focused on protecting my own. I fight back to defend my territory, but the clerk's plan is always a step ahead. I fix the board with an intense stare, certain that I can somehow unlock the intricacies of Go by demanding it of myself. When the board is halfway full, it becomes readily apparent that I'm going to lose. Mr. Yuan glances up from the board with a raised eyebrow, smile ever present. Would you care to stop? I don't mean to keep you for too long. No, it's fine. Let's finish. After turning down the chance to concede, it feels appropriate that I somehow stage an amazing comeback, but the beatdown only continues. Towards the end of the match, Mr. Yon manages to capture more than half of my stones in a single move. My displeasure makes itself apparent with a groan. I deliver my last few turns to the board hard enough to echo a clack thought throughout the store. Mr. Yon scratches his chin casually, scanning the carnage he's wrought upon my pieces. I don't see any possible moves. I pass. And I pass too. That means the game is over, right? That is correct. I release the breath I've been holding in relieved. I'm so glad to live in an era where video games exist. The old man replaces his go set in the back-end box and clears the counter of our diversion. Yet instead of reaching for my drinks to scan, he sets his eye on me. You play to avoid losing. I feel a frown form on my face. Why exactly am I getting a lesson on an Eastern board game from a cashier? I don't say anything, so he continues. Specifically, you play to avoid the pain of a loss. It's clear to see when you have no learned habits or memorized strategies. There is nothing inherently wrong with playing that way, but you should be aware of the fact. I'm a firm believer that games showcase personality in its purest form. Was this whole thing just an excuse to share some wisdom you couldn't think of any other way to bring up? I said that with way more disrespect than I should have. Nevertheless, Mr. Yon's slight smile doesn't falter. Perhaps I'm just looking for a conversation. You didn't quit when I gave you the chance. That's good, but you can only go so far without playing for the win. StarCraft isn't so different from Go. I know that because life isn't so different from Go. Strive to win, Mach, not to not lose. I don't understand. Try to. It's an important lesson. A serious glint flickers across Mr. Yeon's face for a fraction of a second. When it's gone, he looks no different than before. Whoops. There's no one else that moves those drinks off the shelf like you. I'm incentivized to have you succeed and stick around, you see. He lets out a laugh. One that continues only until I smile politely in response. When he's done, Mr. Yon rings up my drinks and carries them into a bag. Right, off you go. I won't ask you to play again with me, unless you'd like to. Alright. I lower my head in a bow, not the type reserved for a venerable elder, but at least one to show that I'm thankful. The door rings when I hurry through it, leaving Mr. Yon to endure the slickly linoleum of his store alone. In a roundabout way, I think Mr. Yon's little diversion might actually help. It's nice to know that he cares enough about me to offer advice, even if it's just because I shop at his store. Whether or not that business about Go and not losing is true remains to be seen. is an aversion to losing really that ingrained in my DNA. Go Mart, huh? Alright, Mr. Young, I will admit that's pretty clever. It seems much darker outside than it was when I came into the store. I reached to check the time on... Shit! I have a half dozen missed calls from Reva. Did that Go Mart seriously take more than an hour? An urgent need to get back to my apartment, replaced by thoughts of Mr. Young and board games. I wave through pedestrians as best I can while simultaneously texting an apology to Reva. My feet carry me as fast as they can. If Reva got tired of waiting in front of my door and left, I'm screwed. I pant my way up my apartment stairs and pause in the hallway to find that she isn't there. Frustrated, I sigh and force open my door. I'm dead. I'm so dead. Why didn't I keep track of the time? Why now? Why when so much is on the line? As I rack my brain for an excuse, I can offer Jet. I look up to find that my apartment is already occupied. You are late. She rises from her seat on my bed and points at the computer. Ladder. How are you in my room? The door was not locked. I let myself in when you failed to answer my calls. You just came in? Yes. My breathing calms as my panic subsides. I forgot to lock my door, huh? I guess this is better than showing up to find my computer missing. Right, okay, sorry, I got caught up with some old guy here. With a rustle, I reach in the bag I'm carrying and hand a drink to Reva. Caught up? Reva takes my offering without so much as looking at it, whether or not she's actually going to drink it. I've done my due diligence as a host. It's hard to explain. You don't need to explain your relationship with an old man if you could rather. Oh Mach. Even if I'm pretty sure it's a joke, Reva doesn't smile to show it. I offer a nervous laugh and fall into my computer chair, trying to move on from the topic of my tardiness. So, right, ladder. Is there something you think I need to practice? You will want to match against Protoss players only. Quit the match if your opponent is a Terran or a Zerg. Wait, but my ranking? With a few keystrokes and displaying my proudly earned Grandmaster badge, accompanied by a rank in the double digits. If I leave 2/3 of my games tonight, I'm going to lose a bunch of ladder points. Are your ladder points really that important? Absolutely. Well... Without a word, Reva takes the mouse from me and logs out of StarCraft 2. Her fingers dance across the keyboard and a second later we're logged into her barcode account. The Grandmaster badge accompanying Reva's enemy's username is ranked even higher than mine. Play on this one then. I do not care about ladder war rank and neither should you. I scratch behind my head and have the sense to look embarrassed. She's right, it's pretty dumb for me to worry about ladder rank at a time like this. With a nod and a click I search for my first match of the night. It takes a handful of games before I finally match up against Protoss. He's got one of those weird names with random capitalization. Reva sits just over my shoulder from the edge of my bed, eyes fast on the monitor. And that's where we end the episode. We'll see how he's doing in the matches in the next one. See you then. Bye.